What's up guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. It's been a while, but I'm back with something which I'm quite interested in. So if you know me, then you'll probably know that I have a weird obsession with football stadiums. I'm fascinated by football stadiums and how they look and what they're like, and I'm going to be doing today is another tier list. Because I like doing these and I hope to do more in the future. It is going to be a tier list ranking every Premier League stadium in the 1920 season that's just begun, from awful to brilliant. And we're going to start it off with, for me, my club's stadium, the Emirates Stadium. Now, I'm not going to lie here. Obviously, it's a state-of-the-art modern stadium. However, it doesn't really have a lot of character to it yet. The atmosphere is not great. However, recently, especially at the Spurs game the other Sunday, absolutely electric that day. And it's starting to improve. You know, the guys in Block 26 doing a great job with the atmosphere, but apart from that, hasn't really shown enough. So I'm going to put it, even though it's a great stadium ground, I love going there. I love supporting Arsenal and going to that ground. And the actual look of the ground is actually fantastic. It's not got much character, it's not got much atmosphere. However, I do love the ground. And this is my own personal opinion, by the way. Call me biased all you want. This is my own personal opinion. So I'm going to put it in good. It is a great stadium. Bournemouth's a tiny ground. But however, it's a nice ground. Bournemouth, great place. And I've heard it's a great away there to go. Even though it's a tiny ground, I like it. It's a little stadium, and maybe they can expand it in the future. So I'm going to put it in, I'm going to put in decent. Because it is a little tiny ground. It's got character to it. I do like that. Moving on now to Brighton, the Amex. Now, I'm going to say this. Unfortunately, I do not get a lot of opportunities to go to away games. I've only really been to a select few of these. I think the only ones I've actually been to are Emirates, Amex, and St Mary's, which is a shame, but, you know, what can you do? And so, with the Amex, one of the few grounds I've actually been to, I like it. Again, it's very similar to the Emirates in the fact that it's a great modern stadium, state-of-the-art, great facilities. However, again, lacks a bit of character, lacks a bit of atmosphere, and I'm going to put it in decent, I think. It's good ground, not going to lie. It is a very decent stadium. Now, moving on to Villa Park of Aston Villa. What a ground that is. It is a fantastic stadium. Oh, it's got character. Holt End is a brilliant stand. Great atmosphere we saw against Everton a few weeks ago when they picked up a 2-0 win. I love this stadium. I love going. For me, it's going in brilliant. I love Villa Park. Hope Villa stay in the Premier League because that is an absolutely fantastic stadium. Now, moving on to what one should we do next? We'll do Bramall Lane. We'll do a new one. New Premier League team for this year. And I really like this ground. It's the oldest professional football ground in the world. That's any team, any professional team. And it's a great stadium, great atmosphere. I'm going to put it in good, really good stadium. I like Bramall Lane a lot. Now, moving on to... what should we do next? I'm not going to lie. I don't actually know. This one here. The pictures are very small. Oh, that's Burnley. Okay, that's Turf Moor. We'll do Turf Moor. Not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of Turf Moor. It's got a lot of character, but the ground itself is a bit run down. It's not the best looking stadium. I'm sorry, any Burnley fans watching. I'm gonna put in not great. Sorry, it's just not the best. Really, it's just not the best ground. And yeah, it's got a lot of character, but it kind of lacks atmosphere a lot. And it's just not the best looking ground really. So sorry, Burnley fans and people that like Turf Moor for that one. Now let's do something on the opposite end of the spectrum, Sal. Let's do what personally I think to be the best stadium in the Premier League. Now I'm not proud to say it because I don't really like Liverpool. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I don't really like them as an Arsenal fan. But you can't deny that Anfield is a fantastic stadium. Fantastic atmosphere. Fantastic stadium. And it's it's got loads of characters, it's got so much atmosphere, and I think that's one of the reasons why I've got such a good record there over the last like two or 3 years. Is that it's such an intimidating place to go. The Anfield fans, the Kop especially, intimidate away players, and I'd love to go there. Obviously, maybe not to watch Arsenal play because we get hammered, but maybe just as even though it's quite far away from where I live, down on the south coast. But anyway, what a stadium that is. Now moving on, what one should we do now? We'll do Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park. And this is a weird one because a lot of these my dad's been to, and he's given me his thoughts on these grounds. And I know that Selhurst Park isn't the best ground facility wise. It's very run down. However, it's great atmosphere. It's a very good atmosphere that they've got their little ultras in the corner, and I think that alone generates such a great atmosphere on match days. And yes, it's a rundown stadium. Yes, it's an old ground. However, you can't deny it's one of the best atmosphere in the Premier League. So I'm going to put it decent. Even though it is a rundown stadium, it's very old. They probably do need to upgrade the facilities there. But it's great atmosphere, great character, and I like it. I like Selhurst Park a lot. Now moving on to a stadium from a team I really don't like, but I can't deny the stadium is very good, and that is going to be the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Now, it's with a heavy heart, I do think it is better than the Emirates. It's got very good. I mean, they've shown it to have a decent atmosphere so far, and it's a great stadium, really, facilities wise. And I reckon it is quite similar to the Emirates, but I reckon just because it's a new ground, it's looking good, it's had a bit of atmosphere so far, I would put it in brilliant. Just. But that is one which is kind of, in between the good and the brilliant stage. But one that I do very like and one I'm a big fan of is actually Goodison. I like Goodison Park a lot, at home of Everton Football Club. I do like Everton, and I do really like their ground. It's an old ground, traditional ground, very good. I'm going to put it in the good category. Now moving on to, I said this towards the start of the video, the few grounds I've been to. St Mary's, I went there when we thrashed them 5-0 in the FA Cup in 27, was it? It was either late 2016 or early 2017. We won the cup that year, 16-17 season. And the atmosphere wasn't very good from the Southampton fans, I will say that. The Arsenal fans, we made a lot of noise. Maybe that is partly down to the fact that, they obviously they'd end up losing 5-0, and it was an FA Cup game. However, there was still a lot of fans there. I'm pretty sure it was almost a sellout, and there just wasn't a very good atmosphere. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the atmosphere on most Southampton matches is decent, and I'm going to put it on a decent ground. But when I went there, the atmosphere wasn't great, but it's no right ground, I guess. Now, Carrow Road, home of another newly promoted club in Norwich City. Very good ground, actually. I'm a big fan of this. Not something I actually like in football stadiums. I think maybe it's a bit weird, but I like it when different stands are different colour seats. I know San Siro has it for the two Milan clubs, and Carrow Road, obviously you can see got yellow seats on one stand and green, kind of green on the other. And I personally really like that, actually. So I'm gonna put it in good. It's weird. It's like a weird thing to like in football grounds, but I like it. I really like it when it has that good atmosphere at Norwich, and I do like that ground, and it's another ground I really like to go to. And then moving on, we're going to go with Leicester City next. The things with this one is very similar to St Mary's, so that's why I'm going to put in decent. I feel like they're very similar looking grounds. They're very similar for me in terms of atmosphere, in terms of character. So I'm going to also put in decent. Molineux. Now Molineux, home of Wolves, is another weird one because personally I think it looks decent. Atmosphere is decent. So do I put in decent or do I put in good? I'm going to put it in good, mostly because I don't think we've got many grounds there. So I'm going to put it in good. But however, one ground I'm not going to put that high is going to be the London Stadium home of West Ham. Why they decided to move there from the Bowling Ground is beyond me. The Bowling Ground was a great ground, good atmosphere, had so much character, but London Stadium, yes, it's an iconic ground in terms of that it's huge. It hosted 2012 Olympics, but got no character. So atmospheres can be really bad. But so I'm gonna put it not great. I'm not gonna put it awful because looks wise it's decent. So like I said, it's a recognisable stadium, but fans are so far from the pitch. Atmosphere is one of the worst in the league, maybe worse than the Emirates atmosphere. And yeah. So moving on, we're gonna do the we'll do the Etihad. Do the Etihad Stadium, home Manchester City now. It's a great ground, great stadium. The atmosphere lacks. It's very similar to the Emirates actually, so I'm going to put it in good. Yes, it's a great ground. I know I've got a lot of the facilities around it is brilliant. Character it lacks, atmosphere it lacks, a lot of the time attendance it lacks. So it's a good stadium. I'm going to put it in good. Mostly because I think I put the Emirates good there. Old Trafford. Now this is a weird one. Recently the atmosphere's been a bit average. However, it is a great stadium. They do often set it out, so I'm going to put it in good. I don't think it's brilliant, but I'm going to put it in good. And it's going to be the same for St James Park, of home of Newcastle. It's one of those ones where recently the atmosphere is quite similar to, the atmosphere is a bit meh recently for all the problems they've got down in Newcastle. But when the place is rocking, it can be the best atmosphere in the league. And they've got some great fans up in Newcastle. I'm going to put it in good. Stamford Bridge, I'm going to put it in decent, actually, because the atmosphere there can be a bit meh. It's got some character to it. They've been there a very long time. Almost their whole history, I'm pretty sure, Chelsea. But the fans aren't the best, let's be honest. And Stamford Bridge is going to go into decent. And the final one is going to be Vicarage Road, home of Watford. Not bad ground again. It's very similar to Carrow Road, in fact, that it's got different colour seats, which, like I said previously, I do like. Not a bad atmosphere, got some character to it. So I'm going to put it in decent. And that's going to round off the video, guys. If you did enjoy it, leave a like and subscribe. I'll probably do more of these tier lists because I do enjoy them. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.